Hey guys, Yankee here, and today I want to be giving my thoughts on Invaders of the Rokujouma Volume 5. Last video, I talked about how I'm going to start doing maybe more spoilers in these, because I found that just sort of talking around what actually happened in books and stuff is sort of a pain. And I've also got some notes here because I realized after I finished recording the video for Volume 4 that there were things that I had wanted to bring up that I just forgot. Anyway, Volume 5. This is a Eureka focused volume. The evil magical girls that she warned about in Volume 1 have finally showed up. And that would be Aika Maki, who is a magician who dabbles in indigo magic. And indigo magic is memory magic. It can make people forget things, and you see her use that sort of as she fights. But anyway, the volume opens with Maki transferring into Kotaro and everyone's school, and sort of to her shock, Eureka isn't scared or anything. She just runs up to her when she's introduced in class and is sort of happy. Eureka's happy that the magical girls she's been telling everyone were going to come are finally here. And this ends up leading Maki to completely misunderstand everything. If you've been following up to this point, you know Eureka isn't exactly the brightest, but Maki gets the impression that Eureka has planned all this. Maki thinks that Eureka has planned like the cosplayer disguise and all this stuff. And some of that stuff is actually quite funny. How Maki sort of bends Eureka's actions into being some master plot. Anyway, let's look at my notes here. I don't have these in any order. I just put them down after I did it, so I'll try and do them in sort of an order here. Falsaria is the land which magical girls come from. I don't know if this has been brought up in previous volumes. I think this might be the first time it was brought up, or if it was only mentioned in passing. We learned that it's sort of like an alternate world. It's not a place in this world. And we also learn a bit about how Eureka came to become a magical girl. It started with her meeting another magical girl, her predecessor Nana, and them becoming friends, and then Nana eventually losing her ability to use magic, and Eureka taking over for her. So we get a lot of good backstory for Eureka, and the magical girl stuff is sort of the second best stuff in this series when it comes to the four plots going on. This one's probably the second best in my opinion. We also learn about Darkness Rainbow. This is the evil magical girls. Throughout the series, we've seen Eureka use multiple different kinds of magic, but for Darkness Rainbow, each one sort of focuses on a specific magic. Like Maki, we got her. She does indigo magic, which is mind manipulation magic. And we also have been learning about. We learned a little bit about why Eureka is protecting Room 106. Eureka just knows that she's there because there's a lot of mana in the room. And in this volume, we learned that the mana in the room has actually been producing the white magic that has happened throughout the series so far. In Volume 2, the white magic is what saved Harumi during the race. In Volume 3, when Kotaro was fighting the ghost, the white magic sort of formed around the charms he was using to fight the ghost. What happened in Volume 4? Volume 4, it was around the sword Kotaro was using to fight Clan. So we learned that all the white magic so far is from Room 106. And also, Maki was able to sort of take some of that and use it, but when she used it herself, it wasn't white at all. It was black magic. So So yeah, yeah, that's basically the plot of this volume in a very sort of messy way. We get some stuff with Harumi in this volume as well because Yurika and her became friends in volume two. So Harumi sort of goes to Yurika for advice about how to get Kotaro to sort of not treat her as like something precious, right? Um, in the last volume, he saw Kotaro, Harumi saw Kotaro and Thea sort of bickering and fighting, and Harumi sort of is jealous of that. Um, and this volume ends up with them going on a date, sort of. Kotaro, Harumi, Yurika, and Kotaro's friend Mackenzie all sort of go out with each other. And it's very fun. This is a good volume. This is probably the best volume so far out of the ones that I've done videos on. Um, Volume 1 is a good introduction. Volume 2 is good, sort of getting to know the characters a bit more. 3 is my least favorite because I don't really like the ghost stuff, but I like Sanae, so I like that part about it. Um, Sort of her development. In Volume 4, we've got the play, which was good, but Volume 5, we get like some really good action in this volume. Maki is interesting and a good villain, even though the way it sort of ends with that is sort of unfortunate because at the end, and you kind of knew this was coming from the start as soon as everyone learned that Eureka was a magical girl, that Maki sort of mind wipes them, and so no, now they don't really know anymore. Um, but even at when I watched the anime, I didn't like that at all. When I read this novel for the first time, I didn't mind it as much, and now seeing where it goes in the future, I really don't mind it at all. I really like how at the end of this volume, Eureka has sort of her attitude towards that has changed, where she no longer is really desperate for everyone to accept that she is actually a magical girl, and instead is just sort of happy being uh, a high school student. Um, which is nice. I like that. Yurika's development in this chapter was good. This volume was good. Um, Kotaro and her relationship is changing and growing and is nice. Um, Another really good volume. I don't know. I love this series. I have a hard time talking about things that I like. Um, but yeah, a good volume. Um, and that's gonna be it, I guess. I'll see you guys next time.